Hey, chat. Haven't seen you guys since last year. No, that really isn't that funny, is it? Hey, Mighty Stoosh, welcome back. If you're not familiar with what we're doing tonight, I do this once a month. We're going to be taking a look at some of history's greatest monsters. And in the event, and this was a challenge put forth ostensibly by Urban Venture, but mostly by myself, is if anyone mentions being disrespected, I have to eat a bean. In the stories, not in chat, obviously, then people would just spam, you're disrespecting me. I will be off camera for most of this, but the camera is here. So if I have to eat a bean, we'll switch back to the camera so you can get the full experience of me eating the bean. Anyway, let me prep everything, make sure it looks correct, and then we'll jump on in. There it is. Okay, looks good. So here we are. We're over on Reddit. Am I the Asshole? A hub for creative writing exercises and a great place to generate free content. And hey, maybe we'll learn something. Maybe I can give a little bit of life advice, or maybe we can start a dialogue in chat. You know, something like that. That's always the hope, right? We're not just here to point and laugh at people. This isn't peopleofwalmart.com. Although that kind of feels like what Reddit is sometimes. Okay, so let's take a look at the number one from the past month. This is from 7 days ago. Am I the asshole for bringing up my brother's premature birth at Christmas dinner to get my parents to shut up? Well, let's find out. Hey, Emmykins. Emmykins is here too. Everybody's here. Thanks everybody for showing up for the first Am I the Asshole Reddit court of the year. And you know, if you guys have any ideas, if you want to visit some other subreddits, I know in the past we've looked at McMansions, we've looked at We Want Plates, but those they don't have the churn that Am I the Asshole seems to have. So here we go. I am a nurse practitioner, and I am the primary care provider for a lot of the low-risk maternity cases at the practice where I work. I also work hand in hand with the doctors and midwives to create a healthy maternity, birth, and postpartum situation. My fiance is completing her residency. We live together and have for a few years now. We aren't in any hurry to get married. We originally had plans to do so a couple of years ago, but then we got really busy for 2 years. I mean, yeah, it's 2022 or 2023 in our case, and you don't have to get married, like whatever. It is driving my very religious parents crazy that their youngest son is living in sin. I don't really care. I'm an adult and I do what I want. We're getting married in June. I mean, you could get married now. It's pretty easy. Just have the ceremony in June. We're visiting my parents for Christmas. The way it came together this year is everyone is at my parents' house. Oof. So that's my folks, my 3 siblings, myself and fiance, and 7 grandchildren. So 17 people. It's a big house, or a very crowded one. At dinner, my mom starts going on about how she's so glad we're finally getting married and she won't be embarrassed at church anymore. And my dad says how proud he is of his 3 older kids who all either waited to get married before moving in together or got married right away after moving in together. My fiance was getting embarrassed and I was mad over this stupid argument we've had too many times. And a family dinner was the last straw. Classic family dinner conversation. This is why I don't go anywhere for the holidays. I don't want to interact with anybody. I just want to enjoy my time off. I've asked them repeatedly to just accept that they cannot control how I live my life. I refuse to stay with them when I visit, even if I come alone. Hotels are just easier. So I started talking about a premature baby I had been reading about. It was almost 3 months premature and weighed about 1.6 pounds. It was super strong and healthy for being born so little. And the NICU had high hopes for the baby doing well. My mom and dad both got deer in the headlight looks in their faces. Too bad. Should not have fucked around with my fiance's feelings. So I asked about my oldest brother. He was born almost 4 months premature. Is there a chance that we could check out the family album where we keep all the records of family births and stuff? I already know my brother was over 9 pounds and almost 23 inches long when he was born. What a weird way to describe babies. My grandmother told me all about it the first time my parents tried to shame me. The subject gets changed very fast. After supper, my parents told me I should not try to embarrass them with private things that are not my concern. I told them if I heard anything about my living arrangements ever again for the rest of my life, I would make sure to keep bringing up the fact that my mom was in her second trimester when they got married. My parents are mad at me for telling them how to behave in their own home. My house, my rules. That's the rule. But my fiance is happy that they seem to be off the subject for good. Am I the asshole? Do we have a justified asshole? I think we kind of determined during the last stream that was a thing we could do. We could say, yes, you're the asshole, but in this case, it was acceptable. Personally, if my parents were treating me and my wife, my fiance, I guess if she was my wife, they wouldn't care. They'd be like, oh, we're so glad you got married before you boned. I would just not interact with them. I would not go to Christmas. I would not go to any other holidays. I'd say, you guys treat me like garbage every time I'm there, so I'm just not going. Easy peasy. What do you think the crazy Reddit comments have to say? Oh no, go off, Kig. That was beautifully handled. User received Reddit. What is this? Reddit something for this. Reddit Silver, Reddit Infinity, Reddit Fortnite for this post. Anyway, that's a boring, easy one. Am I the asshole for getting up from my chair in the middle of Christmas dinner and shouting, "Shut the fuck up about my body," in response to my husband's observation? What the heck? Okay, I want to hear what the observation was. Oh, you're getting a little fat. Listen, everybody gets a little fat. So ever since I had my son months ago, oh boy, here we go. It's another one about kids. My husband has started making indirect comments about my body. He never says any hurtful words, but I find his observations, as he calls it, hurtful. For example, he'd see me wearing an old top and say, "Oh, that top used to look good on you, but not anymore though." Damn! That's brutal. Or when he looks at my waist and says, "Wow, didn't know your waist could get this wide." No. Oh, this guy's insane. Going for Worst Husband of the Year award, I see. We went to Christmas celebration at his family's home. My sister-in-law complimented my floral maxi dress. Chat, what is a maxi dress? And my husband said, "I agree, it looks nice on you, though I have to admit that your waist could get smaller than this." Awkward silence took over. I was absolutely fuming, and this was my last straw, so I got up from my chair in the middle of dinner and shouted at the top of my lungs, "Shut the fuck up about my body." He was absolutely speechless as his family stared while some others tried to get me to calm down, but situation got more tense and dinner ended up being cut short and my husband storming off to his friend's place to spend the night upon leaving a very nasty text saying I embarrassed him and made a scene over an observation he made. Oh, it needs more punctuation. He called me childish and told me to get therapy for my insecurities instead of verbally abusing him and scaring his family, not scarring. Now I feel like an absolute idiot, asshole, and like I ruined Christmas for him and everybody with my oversensitivity. Am I the asshole? No, I guess not. I mean, shouting "shut the fuck up" in the middle of like a family dinner is kind of fucked up. But again, this guy's been asking for it for a while. I'm gonna say, husband, my dude, your wife had a kid, presumably it was your kid. You don't get to then be like, well, you know, you used to be hot, now you had my kid and now you're ugly. Either, you know, suck it up and keep it to yourself, or accept that that's just kind of how biology works. For most people, I guess there's people out there who like have a kid and then go back to being extremely hot, and I don't know how they manage to do it, but they do. Probably money helps. And then the alternative, of course, is to just never have kids and then you don't have to worry about this. But this guy sounds like a real piece of work. I think the last thing your husband really wants is for you to get therapy. If you do, you'll discover that he's an emotionally abusive bully and stop feeling guilty for refusing to put up with his BS. Not the asshole, but your husband is. Do as he recommended and get therapy so you can regain the self-confidence he's eroded with his cruel observations. The guy is the asshole. Exactly. Exactly, Mighty Stoosh. That's exactly who the asshole is in this situation. And again, we're getting one side of the story. I mean, maybe the husband like is legitimately repulsed by his wife now. Like, ever since you had that baby, I have difficulty looking at you. Now that's fucked up, but you know, at least he's honest. In this case, being passive aggressive, like, oh, you know, that dress used to look really good on you. So you, I can't. I'm trying to think of a good verb here. I don't want to say like you shat out a kid because that sounds really bad. Plopped out a kid. Maybe plop is a good word here. All right, let's go to the next one. These are easy. These are boring. Am I the asshole for how I fought my boyfriend's medical bill going too far? That's, no, we're not going to read that because that's just an America thing. Update. Am I the asshole for taking my niece to court over a coat? No, we're not looking. I don't want to read an update. Am I the asshole for skipping Christmas with my parents since they won't treat me like an adult? All right, here we go. Everyone sucks according to chat, or according to the comments. I, F27, have been with my boyfriend for almost 10 years now. No, sorry, 2 years now. I guess that's okay. We will be getting married eventually, but it's not a priority. Why? What is with these people who are like, we're gonna get married eventually, but we're not gonna do it now? Like, just do it. Like, go to the courthouse, fill out some paperwork, boom, done. Nobody's gonna cause trouble. You don't have to have a ceremony right away. You can just be legally married. My mom won't let us share a bed if we come see them for any reason. Yep, another one of these. When we came over this last summer, my boyfriend suggested renting a hotel so we could have some privacy. Maybe a hot tub, a waterbed. It drove my mom nuts that we bypassed her ill rules. She wouldn't drop it the entire time we were there. She made me promise not to do that again. Who the fuck cares? Oh, Cat's here. Hold on. Let me see if we can get him on camera. There he is. Nope, he's just below frame. Wow. Hold on. We're gonna get Cat. There, you guys can see him down there. Cat cam situation. Cat, can you scooch back a little bit so everybody can see your little face? He's very warm and fluffy. It's great. Anyway, so I guess he's just gonna hang out here while we continue. Ooh. Make sure that looks right. There we go. Hold on. Gotta fix the camera now. Oop. Okay, there we go. And we're back. My boyfriend's mom and dad are retired to Mexico and they are really chill. So we made plans to come visit them over Christmas. They're not Christian, so they don't really care when they see their son with regards to religious holidays. We didn't tell my parents we weren't coming. That seems kind of like an important thing to do. My mom asked me at Thanksgiving if I was going to hold to my promise not to stay at a hotel over Christmas. I answered truthfully that I would not stay at a hotel. I'm sitting here on the balcony of my future in-laws condo looking at the Caribbean, waiting for sunrise and enjoying the peace and quiet. Dude, hey, is your boyfriend single? Is he looking for maybe like a, I don't know, a husband that's just gonna chill out at home and game? I made the mistake of going online yesterday and I saw a bunch of posts from my mom and my sisters about how I was a jerk for lying to them about my plans. I may have been a little tipsy last night because I decided to respond. I said that it was ridiculous of them to try and tell me I couldn't share a room with my boyfriend, that I was keeping my promise by not staying at a hotel when we were there, and that if they planned on putting everything on Facebook, I would be avoiding all visits for the foreseeable future. I mean, maybe just delete Facebook. It's a good place to start. They took down their post when people started crapping on them for trying to control me. And then Einstein handed me $100 and everyone clapped. But some people did agree with them. Now they're texting me and calling to say I was an asshole for making them look bad. I asked them if they were trying to make me look good with their posts. They stopped for a while, but there were more text and voicemail this morning. I'm kind of liking the idea of skipping out on the drama from now on, but I miss my dad and he's blameless in this. He's not blameless. Your dad is enabling this. Am I the asshole? I mean, maybe you should have been a little more forward. Like, Mom, so you've been kind of like not great with this whole boyfriend thing. Yeah, trophy husband. That's the word I was looking for. If we get to go to Mexico and stay at my future in-laws condo, that'd be great. Okay, let's edit. I'm having trouble wrapping my head around a couple of things that keep being repeated. How was staying at a hotel so we didn't break her rules not the adult choice? How many of you guys fly across the country or drive for hours to just stay one night? I don't. I mean, I did when I went to that awful wedding, but that was technically 2 nights. Still though, it's not worth it. Everyone sucks here. Your mom is horribly controlling. That's not in question, but instead of saying I won't be spending Christmas with you this year, I'm going to the in-laws, and if I come to you again, we will stay in a hotel. You lied in such a way that they thought you'd be attending instead of acting in the adult manner in which you want to be treated. You behaved like a kid. I don't know if I'd say that's everyone sucks here. Wow, cat is, hold on. You know, should I just leave the cat cam on? Because he's being really cute right now. People seem to like that, so just hang on, let me get it set up. See if we can get a little just like stuff in the way. Oh, that's the phone. Move that back. Can I get it to show up with the webcam is the question. I have to remove the judge. Oh, it's not gonna work. He's just out of frame, chat. I can't get it. Sorry. I really tried, but he's not in a good position. Don't deny. I'm not denying it. It's his fault for not getting in a spot where it's easy to actually capture him with the camera. Anyway, let's get back. Oh, hold on. Now I have the webcam on. We want this to be here, and we want me to be here. There we go. Okay. Well, now this kicked off. Thank you for the awards. User received Reddit Gold for this post. Clearly a mixed bag of responses. Just a little clarification. A lie of omission is still a lie. And remember, lying is always wrong. If you're dealing with a manipulative or narcissistic person, it's all the more important to state your boundary clearly and stick to it. And he's got a good point there. Otherwise, you'll leave yourself open to their abusive tactics and flying monkeys. Watch out for flying monkeys, chat. Don't bring yourself down to their level. Okay, good call. Bald! Whoa, 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 whoa. Hold on, chat. Am I the asshole for throwing away the elf on the shelf and ruining Christmas for my kids after my husband's prank? The comments say not the asshole, but I gotta see this. For context, this year was the first time we would try the elf on the shelf with our kids. That is a trademark of the Elf on the Shelf Corporation. Please capitalize and place a TM after that. We have 3 kids, Lucas, Andy, and Claire, all named after video game or movie characters. Okay, now Cat's trying to lick the screen. Buddy, I know you really like licking it, but I just cleaned it. I don't think that's good for you. Where Lucas and Andy are from our past relationships. Oh no. Miles, Tails Prower, my husband, M37, has accepted Andy as his, and so did I, F35, with Lucas. Every Christmas is special for Andy. His birthday's on December 24th. Sucks. His dad started a tradition where Santa would have consideration with him for being a kid of Christmas, so he feels magical and special. I always try to give him that. Last year I left Santa Claus footsteps, ate a carrot and grass he left for Rudolph, stuff like that. I hope he didn't eat the grass. Or she didn't eat the grass. Elf on the Shelf is creepy? I mean, yes, but also, you know, whatever. If you gotta threaten your kids to get them to behave, so be it. My husband doesn't think it's a good idea I do all that for him, and I'm showing favoritism. Okay, well, what do the other kids get for their birthday? Because I bet they get a whole day with the party and presents and all that good stuff. This guy's got to share Christmas with his birthday, and that's awful. My sister's birthday is close to Christmas, and she got ripped off every year with the presents. Okay, let's see. So we should shut it down because of my ex's decision to create a tradition without considering my other kids' feelings. I disagree since I do consider the three of them, but he asked if we could do something else, like the Elf on the Shelf. Elf on the Shelf is not like a special thing for the birthday boy. This is like a thing for all the kids. I had no problem with it, but I didn't know how that works. He explained me quickly, and since he was the one who offered, I let him do it. We bought the cute elf. My kids named it Bob. Later, my husband explained them they should behave and never touch/hold Bob if they don't want it to be naughty. At first, it was cute to see them spy on Bob, try to see it fly each night. Andy was the most excited of all. I found him one night talking with it, asking if Santa still remembered him. But my husband took seriously the behave or Bob would be naughty part. Lucas was his first victim after he didn't do his chores. The next day, his face was drawn with Sharpie markers. Oh, that's fun. That's a good prank. It's just markers, like whatever. Then Claire, who touched Bob, and her fave onesie was destroyed. Whoa. Okay, now we're getting the husband is now a little insane. Apparently Bob had cut some pieces of it while she was sleeping. Miles was having fun, but I could see my kids weren't. I talked to him about how we should lower the pranks. He agreed, but wanted to catch Andy since he hadn't break any rules. I told him that Bob's supposed to tell Santa instead of being naughty. We argued, but he finally agreed. Yeah, so how this works, chat, for those of you not familiar with the Elf on the Shelf, you get it, you put it around your house, and you tell the kids, hey, this elf is from the North Pole, and he's going to spy on you, and if you do anything bad, he's going to go tell Santa, and then Santa's going to know you're naughty and put you on the naughty list, whatever that entails. The elf itself is not supposed to do anything aside from watch. But I guess this husband is getting a little creative with them. Fast forward, it's Christmas Eve, and in the afternoon we had some of Andy's friends to celebrate his BD. So the kids were playing in backyard, but my husband looked sus. Oh yeah, he looked sus? I decided to look for Bob. It was supposed to be in the kitchen, but it wasn't there. I asked Miles where it was, and he told me no idea. I started getting paranoid, but Andy asked me if we could cut the cake already. I put my best face on and went for it. The cake was in a box, and when Andy opened the box, he starts crying. I take a look, and it's ruined. Bob was covered in all of it, appearing he had been eating the cake. Half the cake wasn't there anymore. That's kind of funny, actually. But I feel like Andy didn't do anything wrong. Miles starts laughing, and so did some of the other parents. My blood is boiling. What's the rest of the lyrics? My heart is human. My blood is boiling. My brain IBM. Domo arigato. And I grab Bob and throw it in the trash. Then I grabbed Miles. We have a... Oh, wait. Miles is the husband. I keep thinking Miles is one of the kids. We have a terrible argument. Calls me an asshole for what I did to Bob, that I've ruined it. How are we supposed to keep the magic with our kids if I wasn't supposed to touch Bob? Edit. Hi, everyone. So the response has been really overwhelming. All right, I don't care. Not the asshole, but Jesus, there's something wrong with your husband. Yeah, so, I think the husband is an asshole, first of all. He's not doing Elf on the Shelf correctly, first of all. This man would be in therapy or divorced by the end of the week. That's not true. There are people in much worse relationships that stay together for one reason or another. I mean, they're both on their at least second relationship, which, as we've talked about in the past, like, the divorce rate is whatever percent, but it's all the people who keep getting divorced and remarried who are bringing the average up or down, as the case may be. Whereas normal people who just get married and stay together forever or till death do us part, they're not like this most of the time. They're just normal people who don't ruin our kids' birthdays. Like, I don't have kids, but if I did have a kid, I would not do this. Oh, Brilip is saying if it was me. If the dude's willing to destroy a child's favorite thing and then ruin the kid's birthday, he's gonna pull some sicko stuff whenever he's pushed. Yeah, exactly. Anyway, not the asshole. Like, your husband is doing Elf on the Shelf wrong, first of all, which is it. First of all, that's an unforgivable crime, doing Elf on the Shelf incorrectly. Second of all, he was looking for an excuse to ruin Andy's birthday because I guess he doesn't like that it's on the 24th or whatever. It's like, oh, he shouldn't get special treatment. Okay, well, he should still get a birthday then, at least. Anyway, what do the commenters have to say? Jesus, there's something wrong with your husband. He wanted Andy to do something wrong so he could punish him. Things like destroying their clothes is not a prank, it's a punishment. Your husband is hazing your children. He's hazing them. He destroyed a 5-year-old's favorite pajamas because she touched a doll. That's not punishment, it's bullying. And then, of course, we have our... actually? That's abuse? It's psychological / emotional abuse, not just bullying. Yeah, bullying is a form of abuse. And also a form of harassment. They're all kind of interchangeable, but sure, whatever. I guess you say bullying and it's like, oh, you know, bullies being bullies. That's okay. Not the asshole. He ruined the birthday party with his juvenile and sadistic prank, as much as he most likely ruined the joyful and childlike spirit of the occasion for the other two kids with the other earlier stupid pranks. What a creepy and horrible Christmas tradition to traumatize your kids with. A doll that watches over them and exacts vengeance. Okay, I think that's kind of cool, but maybe tone down the vengeance a bit and then it will be good. All right. Am I the asshole for not wanting coal for Christmas? What the fuck is this? Santa brought me coal for Christmas. It wasn't funny. This year, I went to my fiance's house for Christmas. It was my first time going, as we would typically go to my family's house instead, because my family's more important. I got a rather pricey gift for my fiance, Dan, related to his hobbies. I got nice gifts for Dan's parents based off of things I talked about with them before. And I got a small pack of chocolates for each of Dan's other relatives. I didn't know them that well. Okay, well, everybody likes chocolate, unless they don't. I wasn't expecting many gifts from Dan's relatives because I didn't know many of them that well, but I was certainly expecting more than I got. At first, I was excited when I saw there was a big pile of gifts for me. However, once I opened the first one, it was just a piece of coal. Everyone laughed, and I just kind of laughed along, thinking it was a gag gift and that the other gifts would be different. But every single one turned out to be coal, all 18 of them. Okay, what kind of coal, though? Like coal that they mined out of the ground, or like charcoal, or one of those fancy charcoal briquettes that you get from the supermarket? This bit, it's hilarious. Yeah, I know, right? I don't know if I would individually wrap 18 pieces of coal. One year, me and my sisters and my mom got my dad a little packet of coal from Spencer's. It was like it was a gag gift, obviously. We didn't individually wrap 18 pieces of coal. I don't even know if it was real coal. It was probably just like wax or something. I started to get upset, so I cried and lashed out at Dan. But he calmly explained, apparently this is a long-standing tradition in his family where they gift coal to newcomers who are celebrating Christmas with them for the first time. He explained that it's just easier that way since all the relatives who might not know the newcomer well don't have to stress over finding a gift, and it's a fun experience. Fun experience, sure. For the newcomer as well. I told Dan I couldn't believe I skipped my own family celebration for this and left. But now Dan and some of his family are blowing up my phone saying I embarrassed him. Was close, could have been disrespected in front of his relatives, and that I made it awkward for everyone. So am I the asshole? No. I don't know. I don't think so. I think this is an awful tradition. I have to wonder how many times they've done this, like this weird Christmas hazing ritual. And yeah, again, what kind of coal was it? Was it charcoal? Was it fake coal? Was it, did somebody work at a coal mine and they just grabbed a couple of pieces on the way home from work? Something like that. Or was, yeah, again, it was a fake coal. Not the asshole. Says real star eyes. Oh, sorry, real star eyes. You skipped your family's Christmas for this, and they shouldn't have done this to you without a warning or your consent. Okay, it's a prank though. If you're like, hey, would it be cool if we like pranked you for Christmas? If you have to ask ahead of time, nobody's gonna go for that. It's supposed to be funny. Just because they enjoy this tradition doesn't mean it can't be hurtful to you, and they clearly ruined the occasion and then gave you a stupid explanation. Especially your fiance is inconsiderate in all of this. You deserve better. This was legit humiliation. Yeah, one piece would have been fine. Like one piece and then maybe some normal gifts. Like a gift card to Bed Bath & Beyond, which, you know, anybody can use. Maybe some candy or like a little Christmas decoration or something. 18 individually wrapped pieces of coal is insane. Just really, like, that goes beyond. Yeah, okay, this person is saying it's a long-standing tradition to haze and humiliate new potential family members. Is this a family or a frat? Oh boy, yeah. Welcome to the Christmas frat. Enjoy your coal. You're on the naughty list. Oh, that's just stupid. Okay. Did they have 18 people there? That's the biggest Christmas. Well, you missed the one earlier that was 17 people. But yeah, again, 18 pieces of coal individually wrapped. A little overboard. One present that is a few pieces of coal or just one piece of coal, acceptable, as long as you get normal presents after that. Like, hey, open this one first. Open this one. And you open it. It's like, oh, it's coal. Oh, I was naughty this year. Very funny. And then you open the rest of them and it's fine. But come on. These people are insane. Am I the asshole for telling my sister-in-law she can leave Christmas dinner when she freaked out over tampons? Ugh. Tampons. Ugh. I would leave after the second or third one. Yeah, it's... At that point, though, you're along for the ride. It's like, oh, it's more coal. Maybe you just have to go along with it. Use it when you're streaming later and you can have a funny story. Okay, she's not my sister-in-law yet, but I used it to make the title simpler. Okay, well, now you've just confused everyone. She's my boyfriend's brother's girlfriend. Okay, so it's your boyfriend's brother's girlfriend. Got it. I, F28, have been with my boyfriend, M32, for 10 years. We met when I was in high school. Oh, sorry, no, 3 years. We decided to host a small early Christmas dinner. One of the people invited was his brother, Jake, M26. Jake asked if he could bring his girlfriend as she was all alone. They've been together for 3 months, and we agreed. The more the merrier. His girlfriend, Nevia, that's not her real name, right? Seemed a bit timid but lovely. Nevia brought her 8-year-old son that we didn't know was coming. Oh boy, okay, now there's a kid involved. She seemed lovely right until she went to the bathroom. She came out shrieking, box of my tampon sheet in her hand, literally gasping for air in between her shrieks. I could barely understand her. Turns out my box of tampons was visible. Duh, it's within a reach because, hey, I need it monthly. Why should I hide it and then look for it? She was going off about being disgusting. How could I be so shameless to have this in front of a child and other men and so on? Dude, do you not have toilet paper in your bathroom? What? I'm guessing this girl is extremely religious because we've dealt with this before. I looked at her in disbelief. I couldn't believe she made a scene about a box of tampons. Has she never been in a shop? Of course not. She's not allowed to go shopping without a man to escort her. Anyway, I told her that my tampons stay where they are, but if she's so pressed, she can leave and go home where no tampons are present. She turned red, quite literally. Her face was bright pink. Huffing and puffing, she dressed her kid and told Jake to drive her home, which he did. Damn. So she took me up on my offer to go home. Jake didn't come back, but he called from her house telling Ian that I was the asshole. I was surprised to hear that Ian, my boyfriend, agreed with him. Dude, what the fuck? I thought he would be on my side. We were about to argue, but I decided it wasn't worth it and went to my office to cool down and think this through. Am I the asshole for telling her to leave? Rilip says, my religion says tampons are evil. It's very well known. Yeah, that's basically every religion, as far as I know. At least the ones that anybody cares about. No, you're not the asshole. Like, what a stupid thing to freak out about. It's like, I went into your bathroom and there was toilet paper. That's disgusting. How can you leave that out in the open? It makes people think that they remember that they have butts. They might be thinking about someone else wiping their butt with the toilet paper. Man, imagine if she saw a bidet. Oh, she would have a heart attack. Not the asshole. Nobody would have fucking noticed if she didn't drag the damn things out and yell about it like a buffoon. Keep the box when you're done. Leave it out if she ever comes over again. Like, yeah, that's... Also, her name is stupid. If you want to name your kid Heaven, just name them Heaven. That makes more sense than Heaven backwards. Which, in this case, it actually isn't, because there should be an E where the A is there. What phrase? We're looking for disrespect. So, if anybody says... I felt disrespected, or they said I disrespected them. Basically anytime someone says disrespect, inside the body of the post, I have to eat a bean. But there was no disrespect here. I would have caught it because I read the whole thing. So ladies, please don't feel awkward about your tampons or your pads or whatever. It happens to a decent chunk of the population. It's not that weird. Okay, we have an asshole chat. This is our first asshole of the night. Am I the asshole for banishing my teenage daughter's friend from our house because she made fun of my weight? Well, how fat are you? Let's find out. I don't think they misspelled the kid's name. Okay, hold on. Let me go back. So, yeah, get in the tampons. So her name is Nevia, which is supposed to be Nevia with an E because it's heaven backwards. So I don't know if this person is just making up a name that sounds really obnoxious, or is trying to, I don't know, generate a person that will make people angrier, or if her name is legitimately Nevia with an A and her parents just spelled it wrong when they named her. Oh, they spelled it extra wrong. Oh, that's true. Yep. There should be an AE at the end. Rilip caught it. Multiple typos. I mean, maybe they're trying to cover up the fact that they named their kid Nevia by changing the spelling. Okay. I, 37F, Rilip, that's you. Have two kids with my Have two kids with my husband, 41M, that's you. A 14-year-old daughter and a 10-year-old son. Our daughter has always been a little socially awkward penguin, to the point where we've had her tested since we suspected her of being on the spectrum. Damn! Oh man, I can't imagine if my parents had me tested. How embarrassing. I was socially awkward. I'm still socially awkward. But I'm not great at dealing with people. Turns out she isn't on the spectrum. She's just a natural introvert. You boys aren't drunk, you're just stupid. However, this year in school, we were thrilled when our daughter made a new friend her age, since that is an area in which she struggles. Long story short, she recently invited her new friend over with our approval to have dinner at our house and then spend the night. Yes, sleepovers rule, man. I'm trying to get to make it okay to have sleepovers still. But apparently it's really weird if you ask your like adult friend to come over and like sleep over at your house. So I guess I won't be doing that. So my daughter's friend came over. My husband's usually the cook in the family, and this night was no exception. He made us all a really nice meal. During the course of said meal, I asked my daughter's friend, "Are you enjoying the food?" She responded, "Yes, your husband is a great cook. No wonder you've ended up a bigger woman." Oh, this girl is 14? That is... Ooh, that is quite the burn. Kind of based, actually. New Year's was the time for sleepovers for adults. Yeah, but that's different. I'm trying to put together like, hey, let's hang out and play Super Smash Brothers all night and eat ice cream and like drink soda. The room got quiet for several moments. My husband tried to laugh it off and change the subject, but I wasn't having it. The girl had just leveled a completely uncalled for insult at me. My daughter's friend seemed to realize that she'd messed up, but she didn't say anything else. We finished an awkward dinner in mostly silence, and my daughter's friend did stay the night. This was a couple of months ago. Recently, my daughter asked if she could have her friend back over, and I told her sure, if she's going to apologize to me. When our daughter asked what I meant, I reminded her of what she'd said. My daughter responded that it was over and she didn't want to bring it up again. Okay, well, that's kind of a cop-out. She then went to her father and asked. He said sure, but she then told him what I'd said. He came to me and said, "Daughter's friend just felt awkward and tried to make a joke. It didn't land." Yeah, it's okay, a bad joke. Some jokes don't land. It's a bad bit. Just let it go. For the sake of our daughter, can't you just let it go? Just like the song. Is there an acronym for kid is a little shit? Yeah, CALS? K-A-L-S. Kid. Kyle's. Kyle. It's Kyle. Kid's a little shit. She, yes, I could, but the thing is that I just want an apology from the girl. Oh, I want you to come over here. I want you to grovel at my feet and beg for forgiveness. No, just get over it. She's 14. She made a bad joke. Maybe you are, in fact, quite large, and it was perfectly acceptable. I need to see that she understands how rude she was before I can get on board with her and my daughter hanging out. My husband says I'm being weird for insisting on an apology from a 14-year-old. Yep, you are. Especially since that girl is such a good friend of our daughter. I think it's weird that I'm still waiting for an apology from the same girl. Seriously, that's all I need. That's all I want. I just need to know that any friend of my daughter is willing to own up to her scoops. It wasn't a scoop, it was a bad joke. Come on, man. How fat are you? We gotta know. Because if somebody, hold on, chat, look at me. Look at me, chat. If somebody's like, hey, Uncle Starshard, this is one of my nephews or nieces coming over and like, wow, you sure are fat, Uncle Starshard. I would be like, yep, you're right. It's because my wife's such a good cook. But this woman is just, come on, man, just get over it. Stalk their profile. I'm not gonna go. This is probably a throwaway, as so many Am I the Asshole posters are. Can we predict? So the comments say this is an asshole. What do we think the comments are gonna say? You are insane for trying to get an apology out of a 14-year-old. You're being a little weird. Let's just find out. My daughter calls me bald. I am bald. I'm okay with it. Yeah, I mean, you have to be. You can't go through life being like an angry bald guy. That's it's a recipe for disaster. It's not until they invent a way to make your hair grow back without shenanigans, then you just have to accept it, you know? Queef Latina, very funny. You're the asshole. Did it ever occur to you that the reason this girl and your daughter clicked as friends is that they're both socially awkward? She's a 14-year-old kid. Even with the best social skills, they often put their foot in their mouths. Let it go. Yeah, don't ruin your daughter's friendship because your ego was hurt by one offhand comment. Thanks for all the awards, kind Redditors. Thank you, kind sir. You're a gentleman and a scholar. You're the asshole. You should have asked for an apology at the table. Oh, that's... Oh. Okay, so chat. I was very socially awkward. And there were people's friends' houses I would not go to because their parents were like weird like this. So if someone was like, oh, well, you know, at the table, you have to, nobody can talk at the table or something like that. You remember that post from last month? I simply would not go back. Uh-oh. What happened? Nope, we're good. Okay, my chat just disappeared for no reason. It's all good. If an adult called me out at a friend's house, I would simply never return. I'd be like, yeah, we can hang out at school, that's cool, but I'm never going to your house again because your mom's crazy. What she said was very rude, and I think she knew it as soon as it came out of her mouth, but she didn't know what to do to make it right. If you said that was very rude and I'd like an apology, I'm out, never coming back. Not happening. She didn't know how to make it right. Her husband laughed off the joke at the time, so how was she supposed to know she'd upset the mom so much? Yeah. Whoa. Let's talk about the fact that the husband apparently hasn't done a damn thing to acknowledge that OP's feelings might be rightfully hurt by the comment, even if what she was asking from here is an overreaction. Maybe OP is actually really fat. Okay? Did anybody ever consider that? This is ridiculous. Let's go to the next one. Am I the asshole for losing it and telling in-laws to stop calling me mama and trying to erase my identity? What the fuck? Hey, mama. Do the monkey with me. I have 2 kids. 2F, 4F. I fucking hate how everyone thinks of me as being just a mommy now. You signed up for that when you had kids, lady. Sorry to tell you that. I don't get to be my own person. I'm just mommy. Husband doesn't face this. He gets gifts from everyone that have to do with his hobbies. Me, I get a bunch of mommy shit. Tee-hee, mommy needs wine. Whoa, this lady is bitter. Holy cow. She's the asshole. How fat is she? Oh, wait, okay, hold on. This feels like disrespected incoming. Yeah, maybe we could see it. And like matching outfits. I don't mean like one of those cutesy matching pajama sets that the nurses and horse girls wear in their staged Christmas Instapics. I mean like people actually think I'm going to go out in public wearing some cutesy matching outfits with my toddlers, as though I think they're mini versions of myself or dolls. Woman needs help. From the first time we got to the in-laws, it was mama this and mama that. At some point, my sister-in-law said it, and I said, you know my name is Carmen, right? She just looked at me funny and said, of course, silly. I said, so why do you keep calling me mama? You aren't going around calling husband papa. Sister-in-law just looked at me like I had 2 heads and was like, okay. I'm already on board for asshole. I don't know what the heck the comments are saying or if there's more to this. This woman sounds insufferable. This went on all over Christmas. You know what I call my wife when my cat's around? I call my wife mom, because she's, I mean, I know it's a little weird because like we don't have kids, but we have a cat, and so she's like his mom. So I'll just call her mom, and she doesn't get mad because she is actually okay with having a cat as sort of a proxy for having a child, I guess. This woman sounds like she resents having children and being a mother. Blah, 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 blah. This went on all over Christmas. Here you go, mama. Want another slice, mama? At that point, I was just like, do you guys mind calling me by my name instead of calling me mama? The same sister-in-law as before did the whole golly gee doe-eyed thing and said, but you're such a good mama. I said, I'm not just a mom. I gestured to the things that husband got for Christmas from them and said, why didn't you guys get him anything that says Papa? Everything you gave me is somehow related to me being a mom. Why doesn't he get to be his own person? Does she call you daddy? Not quite in that way, no. But yeah, sometimes, if cat's around. Blah, 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 blah. Mother-in-law grabbed my hand and squeezed it and said she was sorry that she made me feel like this. She was just so excited about being a grandma, and she never really thought of things like that. Yeah, I bet she would enjoy being called grandma. I was feeling a little better until sister-in-law 2 and sister-in-law 3 started going after me. One of them did that whole, are you okay? Do you need to talk to someone? You sound so angry. It isn't healthy. Faux concern thing that's meant to shame you for having any emotional response. The other one was angry and saying that, is being a mom somehow beneath you and do you think you're better than the rest of us and all that? When we finally left, he asked me why I'd kept it in for so long, and I said I haven't. No one listened to me before. I've said these things plenty of times. I've always asked them to call me by my name and not by some disgusting nickname that boils me down to giving birth. Disgusting. He nodded but said that I had put a big pallor on the weekend. She used a big word there, pallor. Nobody says that. And that I need to apologize for the outburst at some point. I said sure, as soon as sister-in-laws apologized to me for dehumanizing me for years. We're at a stalemate. Am I the asshole? Yeah! You're insane! You don't get to have it both ways. I mean, I guess you can try. But if you have kids, you are now officially mom. What do you expect your kids to call you by your first name? Insane. That's just how it is. If you don't like it, don't have kids. I don't know what to tell you. I mean, maybe we should throw a little more equality in there and give the dad more dad stuff. Like, hold on, chat. Have you guys seen this? You guys seen this right here? Look what I got for Christmas. Disgusting. All they think of is I'm a cat dad. They can't even think of me as a gamer or a Twitch streamer or anything. Just cat dad now. Can't believe it. Everybody but grandma sucks here. She just wanted to be a grandma, man. Like, cut her some slack. All right, what does the comment say? Pat Poos 187 says, no, your sister-in-laws owe you an apology and you owe them fucking nothing even after. Not the asshole. Once again, this is a case of family members needing to be confronted about their behavior because politely asking them to stop didn't work. Can we find an asshole in here? Not the asshole, wow, this is a lot of not the asshole. Girl, I got my husband so much cool shit for Christmas. You know what I got? A diaper bag. My kid isn't even born yet. I feel your misery. Not the asshole. This shit sucks. Don't have a fucking kid then. Not the asshole, not... Okay, all right. Yep. It's not the assholes all the way down. Am I the asshole for taking an Uber to a wedding so I wouldn't be late? No? How was that even a consideration? My sister got married last weekend. I flew into town and my parents insisted that I stay with them instead of a hotel like I wanted. My parents are consistently late for everything. I think it's a Latin thing. Quid pro quo? I hate being late. I think it's disrespectful. I agree. All right, you're off to a good start, Fair Ferret 9911. The wedding was at 2:30. My folks live about half an hour from the church. Noon rolls up and my folks aren't even getting ready yet. Oh no. They're adults and I'm over dealing with them. I get ready. I sent for an Uber and I'm at the church for 2 o'clock. Okay. I check in with my sister. She asked me if I had any problems getting my parents to church. I told her that I came by myself. She blew up my white and said that I was responsible for getting there on time. No. Since when? Wait, is that a bean? Hold on. Oh, I think it's... No. That doesn't count. That doesn't count. It's very borderline because they're saying I think it's disrespectful. Nobody said I was disrespected or you're disrespecting me. Let's see. She my white and said that I was responsible for getting them there on time. Well, nobody asked me to do that. I didn't even want to stay there. So now everyone starts calling my parents. They are getting ready. They were about 35 minutes late. The service was shortened because there was another wedding later that day. Everyone's still mad at me for not getting my parents there on time. My aunt said I'm an asshole for messing up the timing of the wedding. What the hell? My mom says it's my fault for not reminding them to get ready. Damn, dude. Am I the only one who thinks adults should be able to be on time for their own kid's wedding without help? No, you're not the only one. Yeah, not the asshole. Like, come on, man. How old are these people? They're in their 70s. They forgot that it's their daughter's wedding today. All right, we have another asshole here. Am I the asshole for not attending my husband's celebration dinner due to the restaurant not having anything I could eat. Come on now. All right. The thing says asshole, so I'm guessing this is somebody who's like, oh, well, you know, I just really don't like seafood, and it was a Red Lobster, so I couldn't have anything that I could eat. Yeah, how old are the parents? Exactly. It doesn't say. We have to assume they're not super old if their daughter is getting married. My husband has been working really hard the last 2 years to advance at his company, and he finally got the promotion he's been after. I'm really, really proud of him. His parents are too and wanted to take us all out to dinner to celebrate. My husband absolutely loves prime rib, and there's only one place in our area that serves it, so he picked that restaurant. Thing is, I'm not fond of steak. I'll eat it, but very rarely. I prefer chicken or fish. I looked up the menu before leaving, and right now they have a limited menu. The place had only 1 fish entree and 2 chicken entrees. And none of them sounded good for various reasons. I suggested that he pick someplace else so everyone can eat. And by everyone, you mean you, right? He refused, citing that we rarely get to go to this place, but go to other places in our area regularly, which is true. We go to Applebee's all the time, babe. I want to get some rib. Very rarely is a steak joke. Good point. Medium rarely. He suggested that I ask if they could prepare the fish or chicken without the marinades or sauces, but I didn't want to be difficult for the kitchen staff. No, instead I wanted to be difficult for everyone in my family. His next suggestion was that I order dessert while everyone else ate entrees, and then when we were done, he would take me where I wanted so I could eat dinner, while he and the kids ate dessert. Oh, that's a good compromise. So I opted to just not go because I didn't want to sit there not eating and not having a good time while everyone else was. My husband asked me to go so he could celebrate with the people most important to him. I told him no, and that all he needed, and that he needed to get going before he was late. Nah, I'm gonna stay home and eat macaroni and cheese. He did go, but came back a little over an hour later with the kids, and they all had to-go boxes. He said he couldn't think of what to tell the kids about why I didn't go when they kept asking without lying or making me sound bad, so we just got an order for them to go and let the kids spend some time with their grandparents talking in the parking lot. I told him he should have stayed, but he said that I put him in a bad spot with the kids and that I knew he wanted everyone there, and I should have just gotten over my picky eating for one night. I maintain if he really wanted us to all eat dinner as a family, then he should have picked a restaurant with a more accommodating menu. Damn. Some of these comments were pretty harsh, but a kick in the pants. I've apologized profusely to my husband. You don't typically want to use the word profusely for yourself. Like, you don't say, I apologize profusely. You say, I'm sorry that I was acting childish about my picky eating. I really should have gone and dealt with the consequences like an adult. She doesn't say how old she is. I think we can assume if she has kids, she's probably at least in her 20s, hopefully. I think at that point you should maybe be able to go. Ice King says, I'm going, she's an asshole, a huge asshole. Yeah, really. And hey, Ice King, how's it going? It's... So they had chicken and they had fish, but she didn't like the way that they were making. How picky are you? All right, chap. Let's get down to business here. I am a somewhat picky eater in that I don't like bell peppers specifically. So if a dish has bell peppers in it, I will typically avoid that dish. However, if I am at a dinner that is being provided for me where their bell peppers will be served, I would try not to eat the bell peppers if possible, but I would still attend. This woman is insane. Comments say, what do they say? My husband okay, so we're getting a point-by-point breakdown from Bitium Ribbon here. My husband absolutely loves prime rib, and there's only one place in our area that serves it, so he picked that restaurant. Sure, he's the man of the evening, makes perfect sense. He gets to eat his favorite thingy. Thing is, I'm not fond of steak. So, I'll eat it, but very rarely. I prefer chicken or fish, and I look up at the menu before leaving, and right now they have a limited menu. Okay, that's a shame, but so what? The place had only 1 fish entree and 2 chicken entrees, and none of them sounded good for various reasons. Yeah, all right, we're not gonna read the whole point by point, but you get it. I kind of did the point by point when I was reading through. Unless you have an allergy, you should always make accommodations for your family. Agreed. And there was a thing in I hate to go to Game of Thrones in this situation, but one of the characters is married, I guess one of the main characters is married to a gay guy, and she's talking with someone about it, and the guy is like, you know, I am not fond of fish, but if I'm at a dinner where fish is served, I will eat the fish. I guess that was to say, okay, yeah, you're married to a gay guy, but, you know, so be it, or whatever. Anyway, that's from House of the Dragon. Nobody cares. Let's go to the next one, which is also back-to-back assholes here. Am I the asshole for calling my husband unreasonable for canceling the holiday trip just because me and the kids couldn't help him in an emergency? Couldn't. My husband and I have been together for 4 years. I have 2 kids, 17M/19F, and their half brother is 3 years old. Boy, it's an interesting blended family, but let's take a look a little deeper. This past week, my husband had an emergency. Okay, dad had a medical emergency and wanted someone to watch our son. He asked my older son and he refused because he was going out with friends. He also asked my daughter, but she locked herself in her room to study. Anybody want to watch the kid? Nope. I was at the restaurant with my brother meeting his girlfriend for the first time. My husband ended up taking our son with him to the hospital, and his mom watched him from there. Seems reasonable. Okay. He came home and was lashing out on everybody, calling us selfish and unfeeling. I tried to explain that the kids were busy, but he told me to get the F out with that bull. I'm wondering why he got divorced now. Or maybe he didn't get divorced, but either way, they're married now. Because my older son could have skipped the hangout and watched his brother, and my daughter could have watched her brother while studying instead of locking herself in her room. Yeah, but she's 19, you know? It's not her kid. She didn't ask to have her brother. He scolded me as well, but I told him I couldn't leave lunch with my brother since he was visiting town and this was my only chance to meet his girlfriend. Oh, come on now. He yelled some more that told us he was canceling the family holiday for Christmas this year. Okay, whatever. The 2 older kids were upset and said it was unfair. I called them unreasonable to cancel the trip and punish the kids and possibly me like that. He refused to discuss it later. Now me and the kids aren't speaking to him and he's saying, good riddance. Holy shit. These people should not have kids. And yet here we are. Do we want to read the edit? Edit. My husband was supposed to watch our son at the time. That's why I went to see my brother at the restaurant. The kids aren't used to watching their brother when neither parent is home. Okay, that's fair. Update. My husband just told us he'll be spending Christmas with his family, saying he needs to be around his dad anyway. The kids said they will just go to their dad since they and my husband are still not talking. Neither of the kids are happy with how things turned out, so I feel like things have gotten out of hand and the problem got bigger. He's now choosing to basically abandon us on Christmas and also keep our son away from me and his siblings. Why is this an asshole? There's gotta be more to the story, right? You're the asshole. Let's fix the title of your post. My husband canceled our holiday trip because my kids and I are unreasonable and he just found out we couldn't care less about him or his family. Edit. Thank you, kind award givers. God, people in this sub are insufferable. You're the asshole. Medical emergency greater than hanging out. Medical emergency greater than studying. Medical emergency greater than lunchy munchies. Oh, is it though? Because it sounds like he solved the problem by taking the kid with him. The 3-year-old kid that is both of their kids. So I don't know. You know, anybody with kids can weigh in on this kind of situation. Lunchy munchy. Lunchy munchy's pretty good. Yeah, I don't have a lot of sympathy. Again, I do not have sympathy for people with kids at all. You can call me an asshole for that situation. You have the kids, they're your responsibility. Don't pawn it off on your other kids. 3-year-old is not a walk in the park. Well, they deserve each other and the kids deserve better. Nice. Hex. Hey, Hex is back, everyone. It was important. If it was important to him, then they should have helped. Yeah, I mean, maybe. I'm trying to think. When I was 17, if somehow my parents had another kid and I got stuck having to babysit, man, I would not be happy with that. His response was extreme. Yeah, everybody sucks here. I don't think we can just say you're the asshole. I think everybody sucks here. It's like this medical emergency crap. I don't know. Maybe I'm the one with the issue here, because if my dad had a medical emergency and they're like, you gotta go to the hospital, your dad's in the hospital, I'll be like, no, I don't have to do shit. I got a stream tonight. Also, he's across the country, so it doesn't matter. Am I the asshole for silently getting up and walking out of the restaurant during New Year's Eve dinner after I was told to pay for everyone at the table? My in-laws, in parentheses. Huh. Okay, this seems pretty clear-cut. Ice King says, I had a sister. It's very normal to watch siblings. Well, I have 2 sisters, but we're relatively close. I wouldn't have been old enough to watch her. And the one time, did I tell you guys about the time that I left the door open so she could just wander out into the desert when she was like 3 years old? Yeah, I'm not great with kids. I, F32, recently inherited a good amount of money from my mom. I keep the money in a separate account as I still haven't decided what to do with it and I didn't want it to go to waste. How much money are we talking here? I noticed my husband constantly bringing up the inheritance money and making countless suggestions as to how I should spend it. Another thing is that he expects me to pay for nearly everything the past couple of weeks. All right, come on, husband. Like, that's, I mean, what's yours is mine and all that, but like, clearly she's got a plan for it. Just let her roll with it. For New Year's Eve, my husband and I met up with his family at a restaurant to celebrate. It was going fine until I found out that I was expected to pay for everyone at the table. My husband's mom joked about paying for dinner out of my inheritance pocket, which made me livid, but I showed no reaction. Just silently paid for my own food/drinks, then got up and made my way out of the restaurant. They were shouting after me like a crowd, and my husband tried to get me to come back, but I drove home. What the fuck, man? These people are insane. He got back at 3 a.m. yelling at me, saying I was pathetic to get up and walk out on him and his family after they relied on me to pay for their food. What do you mean relied? Who? Not the asshole is right. And thought I was gracious enough to do it, but they were wrong. Yeah, they were wrong. He said I humiliated him and family and that what I did was an attempt to get back at them for not being able to help mom when she was sick. Whoa, where's that coming from? That came out of nowhere. Not true is all I'm gonna say. He's mad and is saying I caused a huge rift between his family and me when it wouldn't have hurt me to pay for the celebratory dinner. Am I the asshole? Okay, here's the thing about paying for other people's dinner. You don't get to be voluntold by the other people at the dinner that you're paying for it. You, being the gracious person that you are, offer to take everyone else out to dinner. It doesn't work. I don't know what the husband, like, he's like, hey, my wife's rich now, guys. She's gonna take us all out to dinner. And then you go out and then she finds out at the dinner she has to pay for everyone. And then she asserts herself like, I'm not doing that. And now they're mad? Come on. I feel disrespected. Wait, was there there was no disrespect in here. It's very close. Humiliated. Humiliated is very close to disrespect, but not quite the same. So let me get this straight. Your mother died after an illness, and the thing your in-laws take from this is, great, now she can pay for everything. Yeah, not the asshole. Yeah, if I inherited some money, I mean, I don't really interact with other people, so maybe I take my friends out to dinner or something. If it was a lot of money, but it's probably not going to be very much. Yeah, asserting yourself, not the asshole. Am I the asshole for not spending this Christmas in the hospital with my daughter? How old's your daughter? Hospital throwaway 532. My 39F daughter, 16F. Okay, so she is the 39F, daughter is 16F. Has had a sensitive stomach ever since she was a kid. Okay, well, that sucks, but whatever. There are certain foods that will upset her stomach to the point where she's unable to stop throwing up. Oh, is this my mom's bean soup that I threw up when I was a kid? We've seen countless doctors, but so far nobody's been able to give us a clear answer. The only advice we keep getting is to identify all trigger foods and cut them from her diet. We have a pretty good idea of what those foods are: soda and other carbonated drinks, chips, Cheetos, and other similarly processed snacks. Anything oily or fried, and most sweets. Damn! Whoa, that sucks. What the heck kind of snacks can she eat? Oh, you can have a fruit or some celery from the fridge. Yeah, thanks. Unfortunately, this is the exact kind of stuff my daughter loves to eat the most, and as horrible as she feels after she eats them, she still refuses to cut them out of her diet. It's me and chocolate ice cream, chat. Which in turn led to her spending a lot of time in the hospital during the past few years. Okay, she's 16, she should know better by now. When she was little, it was easier to keep all these foods away from her because I simply wouldn't buy them, but now that she's older, I can't always be there to check what she eats. She eats the greasy pizza at her school's cafeteria, she trades lunch with her classmates, she goes out with friends and stops to eat at KFC and so on. It always ends with her in the ER crying and shaking because she can't stop throwing up. My sympathy level is going way, way down for this kid. This was the case on Christmas Eve as well, when our whole family gathered at our place, and of course, among the many dishes at our Christmas table were some of her main trigger foods, like chips, soda, chocolate, and sweets. Now, mind you, these were far from the only foods available to her. We also had a variety of home-cooked traditional dishes on the table with ingredients that don't upset her stomach, like vegetables, meat, dairy, etc. All of them delicious and well seasoned. My daughter herself says she really likes most of these dishes. Maybe, is she doing this on purpose? Like she wants to be in the ER to get sympathy? She's got Munchausen syndrome. Despite this, my daughter chose to eat nothing but her trigger foods. I reminded her they'd make her feel awful, but she said she didn't care because Christmas is only once a year and she just wants to live a little. Well, now she's gonna die a little. This ended with her violently throwing up in the ER a few hours later. She had to be hospitalized for a few days and only just got out of the hospital a few hours ago. And unlike all the previous times when something like this happened, this time I chose to spend my Christmas relaxing at home with the rest of our family and not in the hospital by my daughter's side. I kept in touch with her through calls and text and told her that if she needed anything, I'd ask a family member to bring it to her. But I made it clear that I would not be visiting her during her stay. And well, my daughter didn't take this too well. She cried every time we talked on the phone, begged me to come over, told me how horrible I was for abandoning her there all alone, and so on. Most of our family didn't take my side in this either, and during the past 2 days I got called everything from a little extreme to downright cruel and heartless. Am I the asshole, Reddit? Well, you've come to the right place, woman, because here on Reddit we can tell you exactly whether or not you're the asshole. Not the asshole. Because if you're in the hospital, take this from someone who has been in the hospital, you should just enjoy your time there because it's a nice, relaxing vacation away from everyone else. People wait on you. You get breakfast in bed. You get to watch TV all day. It's great. So this girl needs to suck it up, play some Candy Crush on her phone, watch some SpongeBob, and enjoy her time away from the family. What were we talking about? Right, yeah, well, this woman's not the asshole. Like, quit eating your trigger foods. Sig Sauer Power 320 says, not sure if I'm going to be in the minority or get downvoted. Oh well, but I'm going with not the asshole. She's 16 and for sure smart enough and mature enough to know better. As the cliche the saying is, and as much as it's overused on Reddit, play stupid games, win stupid prizes. This isn't a case of a 7-year-old that doesn't really know any better. This is a person that will legally be an adult in less than 2 years. She knows full well what she can and cannot eat, and she made a person choice to eat things she shouldn't. While it may seem cruel and heartless, maybe you leaving her there by herself, obviously she's not since there are plenty of staff there with her, will be the wake-up call she needs to stop eating the shit that makes her get admitted into the hospital. Man, it would suck if there was like, if all the delicious foods that you liked were bad for you. Oh wait, that's how it is for me. enjoy your time in a hospital. Every time I've been in the hospital, I've enjoyed it. Maybe I'm just weird, but I love, it's like being in a hotel, except sometimes more comfortable. Plus, you don't have to get out of bed if you don't want to, and you have an excuse to get out of work and or school. Am I the asshole, says the next poster, for refusing to move out? That depends. Who's asking you to move out? This post is locked. You won't be able to comment. Okay. I, 24F, have lived in the same apartment for 4 years. In this time, I've had 2 roommates, one the first 2 years I lived here, and the second for the rest of the time. That seems like an irrelevant thing. My current roommate, 32F, V, has been great until now. She's in a long-term relationship, and over Christmas, she got proposed to. Oh, congratulations. Now they want to live together, but they both approached me and asked me to let her fiance take over my lease for me and to find a new place as soon as possible. No. I have a few problems with this. I feel like they should find a new place together because I've lived here longer. I also told V a few months ago that I spoke to the landlord about once our lease together is up, I'll be living alone since I can now afford it. At that time, she agreed and said her and her boyfriend would look for a place together. I told her this, but she said that when they started looking for a new place, that everything else was too expensive, and it made for sense for me to move out and not her. Oh, okay. It's too expensive for us, but maybe you as like a single person can afford it. I refused and told her she can always ask the landlord if there will be units available for them in our building. She started cussing me out and has had her fiance and their friends harassing me about it. There's 4 months left on the lease, so I'm just going to ignore them, but when I spoke to my mom about it, she thinks I should let them have the apartment since they need to start saving for their wedding. Wow, thanks for the vote of confidence, Mom. Jeez. Yeah, not the asshole. This is a short and sweet. It's your apartment. It's one of the issues with having roommates, right? Yeah, I'm gonna say no. Like, you're on the lease. If you can, it's between you and your landlord at that point. Yeah, I'm gonna go with that. Not the asshole by default. Am I the asshole for responding to my father's request for a relationship with a detailed PowerPoint on why he will never be forgiven? Based? And I'm not just saying that because it's PowerPoint. If I'm the asshole here, I'll own it. I'm not sorry, but like, it would be very good to know because the rest of my family thinks this went too far. My 24F mom, okay, so OP is 24F. Mom died when I was 7 from leukemia. Bummer. I have very few memories of her from before she was sick, and I didn't get to spend a lot of time with her in her last years, but she was an artist, and until she couldn't anymore, she would make me little collages when she was in the hospital with drawings and photos and messages for me. All right, more bummer. My grandmother put them all in a book for me after she died. I wanted to be like my mom, and my counselor thought it would help, so I started a journal where I would do kind of similar thing, and I've done at least 1 page a week all these years ever since my mom died. More when I miss her or have something hard going on. So I have kind of a unique record of my mental state over the last 16 years. My father remarried when I was 9. My stepmother really leaned hard into the I'm your mom now. Look at me. I'm your mom now. And my father didn't stop her. It improved when they had my half brother because she basically forgot about me then. Oof. Unfortunately, he got cancer when he was 3, and I pretty much ceased to exist for my father. He was either working or gone with my brother, and I spent all my teen years mostly at home alone or with my grandparents. This is a novel, huh? The mantra was that my brother needed to be the focus because he might die. Well, we all might die, so I needed to not be selfish since I was healthy. I stopped trying to talk to him when I was 16, and it was a dark time. I moved out when I was 18 and cut them off completely. Good deal. My grandparents let me know that my brother died a couple of years ago, but respected my desire to remain no contact with my father. He recently reached out to them because he wants to see me and talk. A little late for that now. I went through my old journals and made him a PowerPoint with images of the entries where I had talked about being frustrated and feeling abandoned and unwanted, with some literal quotes of things my dad had said to me during arguments. even the really dark stuff from when I was seriously depressed. Then I ended it with a photo of one of my mom's collages where she had written, "Remember that your dad and I are always here for you." And I wrote, "You failed, go away." Damn, this lady is cold. I love it. I felt like him being able to see it from my literal perspective would communicate why I don't want him back better than I could. Evidently it worked, but a little too well, because I've been bombarded by my family telling me that it's understandable that I don't want to see him. But what I sent gutted him and he's completely fallen apart. Good. I hope he rots in hell. After reading through it, and it was unnecessarily cruel. Maybe it was. I know my bar for that is kind of weird sometimes, so am I the asshole? A bunch of edits we don't care about. Nobody was disrespected, it looks like. Wow. So that's brutal, but also probably well deserved. I'm curious what chat has to say about this. This is not a situation I've had to deal with, obviously. Although the idea of making a PowerPoint for my dad sounds pretty hilarious. What do you think? What do you think the commenters have to say? Let's find out. Not the asshole. I have a saying: if the truth about your conduct paints you in a bad light, the problem isn't with the truth, it's with your conduct. That's, oh, you made that up? That's your saying? You invented that? Thank you for the many awards, kind Redditors. You're a gentleman and a scholar. Rilip says, you don't have any obligations to your parents. If they don't like the truth, they should have done better. Yeah. Like, oh man, I'm so sorry that I sucked as a parent for, you know, X number of years. Boy, I sure was awful. Anyway, so you want to hang out later? Nope. No, I do not. The PowerPoint sounds pretty great, though. Am I the asshole for making my parents choose between my sister going to jail or replacing my car with their vacation money? For making my parents choose between my sister going to jail or replacing my car with their vacation money. Okay, so it sounds like sister crashed OP's car. She can either report the car as stolen and the sister goes to jail and then insurance will pay out, or parents replace the car and sister doesn't go to jail. All right, let's see how close we were on that one. I, F17, okay, fuck you, you're underage, don't care. I have an older sister, 29, and that they had when they were super young, like I think my mom was 19 and my dad was 18. That's not super young. My sister had a kid when she was 16, that's super young. And even that's not that super young. You could go younger. They did not do a great job with her and she has a lot of problems. Oh, what? What, having teen parents? You're a terrible kid? She's chronically unemployed and she is a thief. She has 2 kids that are okay. I don't know about that. Hold on, chat. I'm fixing the mic stand here. It's being weird again. Hopefully I didn't break the desk further. My parents won't let me put a lock on my door because it's their house and they don't want that. Oh, for fuck's this again? No problem. I talked to the kids and explained about what would happen if they came into my room without permission. We have an understanding. Just like, she's got a knife. She's like, all right, kids, so if you come in here, this is what's gonna happen to you. And then she like stabs a doll or something. My sister broke up with her boyfriend and she needed a place to stay. I begged my parents not to let her stay with us. They declined. So I begged again for a lock on my door. No dice. I have to go to school, so I can't guard my stuff at all times. When I came home on Friday, I found my car's absolutely trashed and the side of it destroyed. My sister had gone into my room, found my spare keys, and taken my car. All right, so I took the car, got it. Then lost control on the ice after a day of eating crap and tossing fast food wrappers everywhere. She sideswiped a tree. When I saw my car, I was livid. I told my parents that I expected her to pay to fix it. They said she didn't have any money. Oh, okay. So I said I would call my grandparents. They'd help me get the car and insurance. After talking with my grandfather, I came back to talk to my parents. I said that the insurance would cover fixing or replacing my car, depending on the damage, but that I'd have to file a police report and that my sister would probably be charged for stealing my car. They begged me to tell insurance that she had permission. I said nope. If she had permission, insurance isn't going to replace it. So rather than go through insurance, they're replacing my car, but they're using money they had set aside to take me and my nieces to Orlando next summer for my graduation. It's fine, I can do without seeing Disney World again, but my parents, sister, and nieces are upset with me and saying I'm an asshole for denying my nieces the opportunity to go on vacation that they never had, that they have never had. I just asked them if a lock for my door would have been cheaper. Oh, mic drop right at the end. That's good. That's amazing. If you tell the insurance she had permission and she didn't, that's fraud. Yeah, not only... So first of all, that's fraud. And second of all, insurance is going to be like, I mean, that's the same as if you crashed it. Does the sister even have a license? Is she like... I mean, there's all kinds of stuff going on there. Just put her in jail, man. Sideswiped a tree. Ridiculous. Not the asshole. Play stupid games, win stupid prizes. The Reddit mantra. Good stuff. Good stuff. Remember, you have no obligation to your family outside of, I don't know, having to live with them for the first however many years of your life, depending on state statutes. Am I the asshole? Here we go. We got an asshole, chat. Am I the asshole for leaving my in-laws' Christmas dinner after I found out that they didn't make accommodations for me? Didn't we have this last month? Where the ex was there and sitting where the OP should have been. All right, let's see. I got invited to my fiance's family Christmas celebratory dinner. You can just call it a Christmas dinner. It's my first Christmas with them. I have always been picky about what I eat. Ugh, another picky eater. Can't help it, and it has to do with psychological factors, etc., blah, blah, blah. Everybody has psychological factors about what they like to eat. Before accepting their invite, I let F. Mill, future mother-in-law, know that I wouldn't be eating the traditional food at their celebration and showed her a variety of dishes to choose from to accommodate me. No? Okay, I'm seeing why this person is labeled an asshole. At first, I thought I was not the asshole. Then I remembered this is an asshole post. She refused and told me to bring my own dish. I said if I had to bring my own dish when I'm a guest, then I better stay at home then. Yeah, that sounds about right. We went back and forth and I insisted I wouldn't come if accommodations weren't being made. If you will not accommodate my picky eating, I shan't be attending. I just thought it was a simple request, and Mill could have agreed if she really wanted me there. My fiance agreed that I should bring my own dish, but I didn't. Wow. This is insanity. When we arrived there and I saw no accommodations were made. Okay. So before we read any more, because now I see where this is going. When she said, I found out they didn't make accommodations for me, I thought they meant there wasn't a seat at the table and they were like making her sit on the floor or like eat in the kitchen or something. Now I see when she says accommodations, what she means is please cater to my picky eating, which is not what accommodations should mean. I guess technically it would mean that. I got up, go my things, and walked out and went home. My famille and fiance were shocked. I got tons of calls and texts from them both, and my fiance came home lashing out, calling me selfish and spoiled to walk out like that over a dish that his mom didn't have to make for me. And that it was my responsibility to feed myself. How is it my responsibility to feed myself when I'm a guest? The customer is always right, after all. Makes no sense to me. I told him this and he accused me of starting shit and ruining my first Christmas with his family and disrespecting his mom. Yes, we have disrespect, chat. Let's get that counter up to 1. Oh my God. It finally happened. I have to eat a bean. So let's do it. We did it, Reddit. There was disrespect. So hold on, I'll do it so you guys can see. There is no trick photography used here. There are 2 beans, chat, and they are both the same, so I'm simply going to pick this one. I'm going to eat it. It's rotten egg, chat. It's a rotten egg bean. Yummy. I love that rotten egg. Ugh. Ooh. Ugh, gross. Ugh. Ugh. I'm too good at it. Yeah, I've had too many of these beans. They don't faze me anymore. I'm sure if I get a barf one, it'll be bad. Okay, disrespect. Up to 1. Let's get back into it. Now he's continually saying I fucked up and should have sucked it up for the family's sake. Yes, he is right. You are an asshole because when you are attending someone's Christmas dinner, you don't get to dictate what is served at that Christmas dinner. If you are so picky that you cannot eat, I don't know, Christmas goose or whatever, and you won't bring your own food to eat, you won't bring a Lunchable because, oh, I'm the guest, therefore you must cater to my every whim, you're an asshole. There's not even any leeway here. Like, what else is there to even say? This is a pretty clear-cut example of being an asshole. For those saying I have no respect for my in-laws, I do, especially Famil. I respect her, but this is so far the biggest conflict we had. I work long hours even on holidays, so not much time to cook. I wasn't asking for an elaborated dish or several dishes, just one simple option. Listen, all I wanted was a stuffed Christmas goose with cranberry sauce. I can't think of a Christmas thing. Anyway, we don't even have to read the comments. Obviously this person is an asshole. There's nothing left to say. Like, hopefully your fiance realizes you're insane and stops doing it. Am I the asshole for telling my estranged sister that our parents and she had... Wait. Telling my estranged sister and our parents that she and her kid are not my problem? No. No, you are not. 7 years ago, I was married and expecting a baby when things went horribly wrong. Uh-oh. Around 10 weeks into my pregnancy, I suffered a miscarriage, and then I returned home to find my husband in bed with my sister. What the fuck? Is this a country song? The two of them tried to apologize and convince me we could all get over it. The only way we could all get over this is to King Solomon it and cut the husband in half. But I wanted nothing to do with either of them, and even less so when I found out she had gotten pregnant. Okay, is this just a soap opera plot? My divorce was finalized quickly because I wanted nothing from him other than the divorce and was willing to leave the marriage with nothing but the clothes on my back. Okay, pretty based. Pretty early, I realized my parents were hoping I would want to still be part of the baby's life. Okay, because I guess it's it would be your nephew or niece at that point. I wanted nothing to do with the baby my sister conceived while sleeping with my husband, now ex, as I lay in hospital losing my own pregnancy. I refused any and all contact with my sister and ex. They married and had 2 more children after the one she conceived. Okay, yeah, we get it. Okay, she had a baby with your ex-husband. I get it. I met my current husband when I had distanced myself from my whole family, and he was amazing, and his family were great. We got married 2 years ago, and his family are nothing short of the best. I adore the nieces and nephews I have gained through my marriage to him, and we spend a lot of time together. All right. When one door closes, am I right? Around 3 months ago, my sister called me at work using my work phone and told me she needed me and could I please come to her. Nope. I hung up the phone and continued about my day. It was several hours later that I got a message from my parents saying I needed to be with my sister. Nope. No, I don't. A few years later, I got another call and was told my sister had been pregnant. The baby passed away inside of her and she delivered a stillborn, all while he was out sleeping with someone else. There seems to be a pattern here. What is this dude's fucking problem? Chat. I know none of you are cheaters because that's a bad look. But what is it with these people? Like, do you... Okay. Is the sex you're getting from some person that is not your girlfriend or your wife or whatever really all that much different? Really, think about it. Ice King, I know your body count has got to be in the like thousands. So I want to know, is it really that much different between individual people? No, I actually, okay, now I actually really want to know. Hex says, if someone cheated on someone to be with you, they will cheat on you with someone else. Yep. This guy's actually Newt Gingrich. Exactly. I was gonna say, this sounds like something a politician would do. Okay, so she had a stillborn, and then the husband was out sleeping with somebody else. Because I don't know why. I don't get it. Maybe I'm the crazy one. My parents and sister expect me to rally around her, and I didn't. Now that some time has passed and she lives with them, I've been inundated with them saying I should meet her kids, be there for them like I am my husband's nieces and nephews, and I should reconcile with the family. My sister told me how sorry she was again. How many years has this been? 7 years ago. It's been 7 years. How sorry she was again, and she wanted us to make up. I told the three of them that she and her kids are not my problem, and I still want nothing to do with them. Based. My parents are furious, and they say I need to forgive because whatever she did, she's now suffering worse than would ever be deserved. I don't think so. I think you could probably stand to suffer a little bit more. Her kids are innocent and deserve an aunt. No, they don't. Some kids don't have aunts at all. If you're an only child, if two only childs get married and then they have a kid, they don't have any aunts or uncles. So yeah, not the asshole. Like, you cut things off, or you not cut things off. You cut people out of your life, and then they're like, oh, woe is me. The same thing that happened to you has happened to me, and now I see the error of my ways. Okay, well, I'm glad that you see the error of your ways. I still don't have any obligation to interact with you in any way. Pretty clear-cut example. Again, not the asshole. Am I the asshole? Asks. Am I the asshole husband dead ex for not wanting my husband to go to his ex's funeral? Ooh, spicy. Okay. Just don't contact them again. Exactly. It's so easy. You're like, please stop calling me. And then if they call you again, say, stop calling me. And then if they call you again, you say, click. I'll admit I'm biased right off the bat. I couldn't stand her. Oh boy, it's one of these. I call her his ex to myself and others. He called her his friend. Ugh. As if men and women could be friends. We're all in our early 40s. She died recently. Aneurysm. I've been with him 10 years now, but he'd known her for 20 plus. The way he tells it, they were friends in college, decided to date, got married, then realized they weren't a great couple and decided to just be friends. I mean, isn't part of being married being friends? Like, that's kind of an important aspect of it. I guess you don't have to be friends. You could just look at it as like a transactional relationship. Like, okay, so we're going to get married. We'll be able to write that off on our... We'll be able to join our finances and get a tax benefits, and then we'll have some children. And we will split the money like such and such. It's all very business-like demeanor. I think if you want to have like a good romantic relationship, you should be able to do the things that you would do with your friends, with your partner, but whatever. A couple months into dating, it came up that his friend was actually his ex-wife. Oh my god, I can't believe it. He explained the above to me, saying she was one of his closest friends and that it was purely platonic. I expressed some discomfort at him being so close to an ex, and he told me, that's fine. If you have a serious issue with it, let me know now and save us some time. I'll choose her. Oh shit. Oh dude. Awesome. I like you and all, but I've known her for over 12 years and she's one of the most important people in my life. You'll have to be okay with that if you want us to be a thing. I think they need to bring, like, people need to be more okay with, like, I don't know, relationships and stuff. When we were engaged, I asked again. He gave me this perplexed look and asked, why would us getting married affect my friendships? I sucked it up and went along. So this woman is adamant that the husband is gonna like change just from being married, and he's like, no, I'm still best friends with my ex-wife, who is also my best friend. It just, the whole marriage thing didn't really work out between us because it was too weird because we're such good friends. I resented every moment of knowing her, especially when we had to be social. She understood some part of him I couldn't. Her husband was friends with mine as well, so it's not like I could use him as an angle. He'd have lunch with the ex, they'd go to their geeky movies and whatever. The few times I brought it up, he'd say, we had this conversation before, you had your chance to back out. Yeah, really? Hey, so 10 years ago when I said, if it's a choice between you and her, I'm gonna choose her, and you said, okay, well, that's fine. You can just, you know, still be friends with your ex. And then now she's upset about it. My argument summed up. She's dead. Oh, this is the, okay. He was working with her husband on funeral planning. I told him, you don't think you're going, do you? What the fuck? My argument summed up. She's dead, so she's not a factor anymore. He doesn't get to use this "she's my friend" excuse since she doesn't exist anymore. Holy shit. This woman is ice cold. He had his cry for a couple days. He gets to be done with mourning her already. There's no need for him to go to her funeral since I wouldn't want her at his. Well, that's you, lady. He was the angriest I've ever seen. I've ever seen him when I told him that, replying he'll be going no matter how I feel and that he's willing to burn this to the fucking ground while I'm holding up his wedding band. Oh, while holding up his wedding band. Besides you, she was the closest friend in my life. Him, her husband, and my sisters are calling me an insensitive asshole over this, all saying there was no romantic aspect to their relationship and that I'm heartless. Yeah, I'm inclined to agree with them. You wrote this post and yet you are coming off as an asshole. Her husband went so far as calling me a ghoul for how I've reacted. A ghoul, chat. I never felt their relationship was appropriate, and I hid that for years because I wanted to be with my husband. Man, now I understand why some people like are worried about getting married, because there could be something that they see as not a problem that their spouse has like just been simmering for decades. Am I the asshole for just wanting him to be done with her and for him not attend the funeral? Oh boy. Yep. 100% the asshole. So, all right, if this was me, if I was a raging asshole and I wanted to paint myself in the best light, first of all, I would not have brought up the fact that I was never okay with this. You cannot spin this in any way that makes this person out to be not the asshole. I gaslit my husband for years and now he's mad at me about it. Yeah. I told him I was okay with it, but I really wasn't. Am I the asshole? Yes. Yes, you are. I know the comments are just be civil. Never mind. I'm already sick of banning you all. You can't handle this one, apparently. Oh no, these people, they really wanted to go off on her. Yeah, that's oof. I mean, it sucks that he died, or that she died, because she seems like she's really cool. And I wish that the other person had died, the OP had died in Minecraft. Okay, hey chat, it's halftime. So why don't we head on over to our good friends at YouTube and we'll see what kind of funny videos you guys have brought for tonight. The answer is there are none. So I don't have to worry about eating a bean tonight besides the one that I already did. So let's get back into it. Oh no, I forgot videos. Well, hey, if you want to upload one now or send the link in now, just let me know and we'll jump back to it. But we're going to keep on rolling here because we're on a roll. Am I the asshole for putting parental controls on my TV and royally pissing off my father-in-law? So my father-in-law has been watching softcore porn on my TV, and then I made him stop. I, M30s, live with my wife, F30s, we have 2 kids, M8 and F6. Okay. My wife's parents are staying with us temporarily as their home is having some serious repairs after a freak accident. A bunch of freaks crashed into it. It wasn't their fault, and luckily they had insurance. The repairs should be completed in 2 months from now. I don't really get along with my in-laws, especially my father-in-law, but I agreed to let them stay because I thought the time would fly by and it wouldn't be that bad. But I'm posting here, so I guess I was wrong. I guess so. My mother-in-law doesn't have a job, and my father-in-law works late shifts until around 11 p.m. When he gets home, they will watch YouTube in the living room and play music on it at a loud volume with our speaker system. It's not college house party bass tearing apart the walls loud, but it is still loud. My kids are not light sleepers, but this wakes them up. Then they go wake me up because they want me to make it stop. My kids need to be rested for school and I need to get up in the morning to drop them off and go to work. My wife works overnight shifts, so she doesn't witness this. Dude, this is like my nightmare. Is everybody working like weird hours? It's like bad enough that my cat wants to wake up at 4 in the morning to run around. I've tried to talk to my mother-in-law and father-in-law, we're just gonna call them Mill and Phil, about it, and ask that they please keep the noise down after my kid's bedtime, which is 8:30. I don't expect complete silence, but I really don't think they need to have the TV on loud late at night. My father-in-law argued with me and said that he doesn't finish work till 11 p.m, so I'm basically expecting him to not do the things he enjoys after work. I told him he can do it before work or on his days off, or it's tough shit. Or put on some headphones. He complained to my wife, who's now taking his side, oh, not again, and saying that the kids need to learn how to sleep through a bit of everyday noise. I guess she would know as she works overnights. I told her it's not everyday noise and that he and Mill are being excessively noisy and inconsiderate. She's just not there to see it. My Phil has been sending me links to buy earplugs for the kids. How about you buy some headphones for your ears, asshole? I've gotten really fed up with this. It's not my in-laws' house and they're staying with us as guests, and I think they're being really selfish. I decided to put parental controls on the TV so that my in-laws can't use it after 8:30 until 6 a.m. the next day. Between those times, the TV can't be used without putting in the password, and only I know it. This doesn't affect my wife, as she doesn't get off work until 6 a.m. and isn't normally home until 6:20ish. My Phil is now incredibly pissed off with me and said that I'm acting like a child and keeps pestering me, demanding the password. My wife is also mad at me for upsetting her dad. Okay, here's the solution. Everybody changes to be on the night shift. Kids, you're going to night school. OP, what is your job? He's got a job. You're working the night shift now too. Everybody's on the night shift. Everybody gets to sleep during the day. Everybody gets to listen to TV at 11 o'clock at night. I'm just so annoyed at this whole situation. I'm sick of hearing about it, so I just want to know if I'm morally in the clear. Edit. Thank you for the awards. Thank you for the Reddit gold, kind stranger. Yeah, I mean, not the asshole. Maybe just hide the remote. You know how boomers are. Although if they're in their 30s. No, yeah, the parents would still potentially be boomers. I think my parents are boomers, technically, like right at the tail end. Hey, you could go to a hotel if you don't like free accommodations. Good point. Go. Insurance should be paying for a hotel. Like, that's one of the things that insurance handles in the event of major home repairs that are covered by insurance, typically. So my guess is they're staying for free at son-in-law's house, and they're pocketing the money that insurance is giving them to stay at a hotel or something like that. Pretty shitty to do. All right. Am I the asshole for not going to my mom's house for Christmas and refusing to make my little sister go too? So I'm not going to my mom's house, and I'm refusing to make my little sister also go. So nobody's going to mom's house for Christmas because she abused us as children. Let's find out. I'm 17 and my little sister is 15. Our dad died about 10 years ago. It was sudden and devastating. One day he kissed and hugged me as sis and told us he loved us, and then we never heard from him again. At the time, I couldn't fully grasp why he chose to stay away, even though mom tried to explain it to us. He died. I missed him and thought I did something wrong to make dad mad. I repeatedly called his phone hoping he would answer, but it always went directly to his voicemail. Okay, so dad died. She thought he just went away, and then they went to the funeral, and now it's like a very sad story. At his funeral, I realized I would never see him again, and I broke down. I don't remember much from that day, except Uncle David helped me the entire time. He held me throughout the funeral, drove the drive home, and as I fell asleep that night, Uncle Alan did the same thing with sis. All right, way to go, uncles. It wasn't easy growing up with just my mom and sis, but not as tough as it would have been because the two uncles were always a phone call away. Whenever we needed help with school, one of the uncles was there to tutor us. Maybe the mom should marry the uncles. It would be like a sitcom. One of them was always in the front row of every school performance and game. Whenever I wake up in the middle of the night and miss dad, I'll call Uncle David and know he'll always pick up. My mom eventually remarried to Bob. Oh, I thought she was going to say my mom eventually remarried Uncle David. That would have been way better. I never liked Bob because he always have to be in control and placed us on a strict schedule. Dinner was at 7 every day, no matter what. 7? Seems a little late. But if we came home late and dinner was over, we weren't allowed to eat that night. Okay, well, maybe be home on time then. Whenever our uncles gave me and sis money, we had to give it to Bob, and he divided the money equally. Is he taking a cut? A couple months ago, sis and I were eating with Uncle David and his family. Our dinner conversation eventually led to where I want to go for college and how to pay for it. Uncle David told me that uncles decided long ago they were going to pay for me and sis's tuition and cost of living on campus. Based. Wow. Cool dude. I cried when I heard that and laughed when he jokingly said he hoped I don't get into medical school because that's going to cost him a fortune. I went home and excitedly told Mom and Bob that the uncles are going to pay for our colleges. Instead of being happy, they both looked furious, and Bob started screaming about how unfair it was to our step-siblings and half-sister that we're getting a free ride through college. He wanted me to tell our uncles to divide the college funds equally among the kids, but I refused. The next day, he kept on screaming at us. So sis and I packed our bags to go to Uncle David's house. He kept on screaming and even followed us out to my car. Sis and I have been living Uncle David and his family ever since. This feels more like home than it ever did at our house. Mom's been asking us to come home for Christmas for a month now, and I've been refusing. You know, if they really wanted the kids to come home, they could call the cops, and the cops would get it all sorted out. But it sounds like they don't want to have to deal with that. So today's the 24th. Yep, 9 days ago. I believe that is correct. She's been calling all morning crying and saying we need to spend Christmas with family. You show up for Christmas, you're never leaving that house again. You'll be buried under the floorboards by Bob. Yeah, not the asshole. Sounds like your stepdad's an abusive dude. Not very cool. Didn't like the fact that your bio dad has cool relatives or whatever, and decided to take it out on you. Not cool. Very uncool. All right, last one of the page. Am I the asshole for snitching? Yep. Any further questions? You're the asshole for snitching and causing my friend to lose her scholarship / dream college acceptance. Okay, that's a pretty major snitch. Let's find out. I, 19F, am a sophomore in college and have a friend, Tia, 18F, who's in high school and applying for colleges and scholarships. I helped her throughout the college process, and she ended up getting an early action to her top college. And she got a full scholarship. I was happy for her until recently. I was talking to a mutual friend of ours, and she started gushing about how Tia's essay was so heartfelt and beautiful. I asked to see it because I thought she'd just forgotten to show me. She showed me many of her essay drafts, but as I was reading it, I was completely taken aback. The essay was one of my college essay drafts, which I'd shown to Tia for reference on writing techniques only. I made this clear. I was livid. The essay was really personal, and she barely even tweaked it. It was almost entirely copied and pasted. I trusted her with it, and this is what she did. How could she? How could she copy my work like that? In a fit of rage, I gathered all the evidence of me helping her with the college process, including evidence of me sending the specific essay to her, and showed it to the school. She not only lost her scholarship, but she also lost her seat in the school. Now people are calling me dramatic and shaming me for robbing her of her education. Sounds like she needs to go back to school and learn a little something about plagiarism. She's the only person in her family to get into college and receive an academic and athletic scholarship. So everyone was rooting for her, including me at one time, and while I didn't expect the outcome to be so severe, it was. Right now, I feel bad. I feel terrible. I feel like she took advantage of me, but I didn't want to be the cause of something so horrible. I did myself a justice, but at the cost of someone else's dreams. Now I'm wondering if what I did was justified or not. Am I the asshole? What's Twitch's policy on plagiarism, chat? I mean, I don't know. It would be nice if the friend had like made more adjustments, I guess. It's not that hard to write an essay to get into school. So I'm gonna go with maybe everybody sucks here on that one. But also don't copy your friend's essay basically word for word. Like, what the heck? Who does that? You shouldn't copy other people like that. All right, so now we're on the second page. So we're just gonna do a quick rundown of some of these. We're not gonna read them all. We're gonna check the title, see if anything sounds spicy. and then we'll probably call it an early night tonight, since it's one of these fancy reading streams. You guys know how much those are. If she cheats to get in, she'll cheat to stay in, and then she'll be expelled with huge debt. Good call. You saved her all the trouble of getting kicked out of school by preventing her from getting into school in the first place. You've done her a kindness in this case. Okay. Number 1, am I the asshole for not defending my boyfriend when my brother asked him to leave? Am I the asshole for throwing away the expensive whiskey my brother got me for my 40th? Hi, I'm throwaway 987, and I've been sober for 19 years. My brother got me some whiskey, and I threw it away because I don't drink. Am I the asshole for not letting our kids eat my wife's cooking? Yeah, let's find out. She always puts vegetables in their food. It's disgusting. I, 34M, have a wife, 32F. Good age difference, I like it. We have 2 children, 4F and 7M. I work as a manager at a care home, and my wife owns a bakery with her mum. My wife cooks all the time because she's much better at cooking than I am. I cook sometimes. She's the one who takes care of the house, kids, and chores. Cool. All right. Yesterday when I came back from work, dinner was ready, so I plated it up for everyone while my wife was washing her hands. My kids like their food cut up. I was cutting their chicken into pieces, and it looked a bit pink. I told my wife to look at it, and she said, it's a little pink, but it's fine. I told her I'm not letting them eat this if it's pink. She told me to stop being a baby and it won't kill them. Whoa, okay, I mean, it's chicken. I kept telling her it's pink in the middle, they shouldn't eat it, and they can get food poisoning, and that it's dangerous for them. She told me if you don't want them eating it, you can cook their dinner. I made them cheese and ham toasties. Is that a grilled cheese? She also made one, but she didn't eat it. She told me she isn't talking to me if I think her cooking is horrible. I don't think it's horrible. I just don't want our kids eating that. I told her to stop thinking she was right. So am I the asshole? Okay. Can I get a chef to weigh in on this? Can chicken be pink in the middle? Is that bad? I mean, I'm not like an expert in cooking, but I feel like that's bad. I think you don't want to eat that. There's no need to have this fight. Just nuke the damn chicken. Well, let's not go that far, Rilip. Jeez, we don't need to drop a bomb on it. Okay. Info. Why didn't you just put the chicken back in the oven? In the meantime, you're the asshole. Pink chicken is not dangerous if the internal temp was high enough. Also, instead of just saying, oh, honey, I'm worried the chicken is a little pink. Can we cook it just a little more to be safe? You went all the way. I am not serving that to the kids, and made grilled cheese sandwiches. Chicken has to reach a temp of 165 degrees. It might still look pinkish, but it's totally fine to eat. Color's not a good indicator of whether the chicken has actually reached 165. You can have pink chicken that's reached the proper temp and is safe, and it's actually much tastier and juicier that way. Perfect. Okay, so there we go. Yeah. Chat knows the answer. Pink means it's underdone. Well, not according to chat. As long as it's reached the proper internal temperature, it is safe. Totally safe to eat. I would eat it. In fact, it sounds delicious. Am I the asshole for snapping at my friend who keeps ditching me because I now have a child? Yep. You're the asshole. You have a kid? Your friend is trying to, like, have a good life, and you're just... Okay, let's find out what it actually says before I make up a guy. Oh, boy. Okay, this is a long one. Just over 2 years ago, I unexpectedly got pregnant, have a beautiful 18-month-old daughter. All right, the fact you have to call her beautiful leads me to believe she is not. Over that time, my friend circle got considerably smaller. Gee, I wonder why. But my best friend, Mia remained. Mia doesn't have kids nor want kids, but she's been brilliant with Sierra. I'm a stay-at-home mom and obviously don't have as much time to hang out as I previously did. Mia and I live on the same street. We're in Manchester, England. Okay, cool. Can we get to... She did at the beginning. She can just pop in whenever she wants, but she rarely does. She did at the beginning, but it's been happening less and less. Instead, she keeps suggesting we go out for coffee or pizza or even a drink. But I don't have the time, and I always just tell her to come over and we'll have coffee at my place. She asked if I wanted to go out with her and her other friends for a drink last weekend, but I said that no, but she's welcome to come over. Okay, yeah. I feel neglected. I feel neglected. My friend keeps accommodating me, and I keep reneging on the deals and saying, hey, instead of doing this thing you want to do, how about we do this thing that I want to do instead? Today I saw her photos from Saturday night out and I was fuming. She ditched me just so she could go out and drink like she's 20 again. Oh my God, she's having fun. I can't stand it. When she finished work, she called and asked if I fancied going for coffee, but I asked her to come over again. She said yes, but before she disconnected, I heard her mumble, like always. Like always, chat. When she came over, I decided to open about everything, and while not my proudest or most mature moment, I shouted at her that she's an awful friend, that she barely comes over, and if she doesn't want to spend time with me, to just say it and stop playing around. She said she's always been accommodating, but it's been 2 years, and she doesn't want to spend time with me when there's always a kid, especially now she has to watch her language. Mia likes to swear. Yeah, me too. I said that she knew I had a child and responsibilities, and she said that Tom, my partner, could take care of Sierra once in a while so I could have time off. Yeah. Yeah. So she keeps trying to include you in activities and you keep saying, well, why don't you come over? No, I don't want to go out. Can you just come over to my house and make it more convenient for me? Let's see. What does the comments have to say? You're the asshole. She didn't ditch you. She asked you to go out with her friends as she'd made plans. She's not drinking like she's 20. She's drinking like someone who doesn't have a child. Snap. Got him. P.S. She's right. Your partner can look after your daughter once in a while and should do to try and bond with her. Over 60k karma. Y'all are crazy. Damn. 73.7 updoots 21 days ago. That's insane. It's more updoots than the whole post got. Am I the asshole for leaving my husband? Am I the asshole for leaving my husband for a Christmas trip to Hawaii with our kids? Like leaving him to divorce him or just like leaving him home? Every year my family spends Christmas in Hawaii, and this year we did Thanksgiving, blah, blah, blah. About a week out, he said he's unsure. He says he thinks it might be better that we stay. He said he really wanted to spend Christmas with his family and felt like his mom really needed it. Now I'm in Hawaii watching and wrangling the kids by myself while he's home alone. He have said texted me or responded to me much. When I call him, he only talks for about 3 minutes before wanting to get off the phone with me and talk to the girls. Am I the asshole? Why did he not want to go to Hawaii? Oh, his dad died. Okay. Huh. That's a tough one. We already had my dad buy our tickets, hotel, so it'd be incredibly unfair to me to not go. That almost, I'm kind of leaning asshole on this one, but let's see what the comments have to say. I think not the asshole, because you stayed home the first year after his dad passed away and you had agreed to the Thanksgiving/Christmas arrangement for this year. He changed his mind after all the arrangements were made. However, I think you and your husband need to talk about this more. Where are he and his mom in their grieving process? How does he envision things working in future years? Does he want Christmas with his mom now? Does he want to do alternate Christmases, or is this year just particularly hard for both of them? Wow. What an unusually mature response from a Reddit account. That's like extremely level-headed. Wow. I was not expecting that to be the top comment. Am I the asshole for wanting to bring my cat back into my house after my wife's late stillbirth? Okay, we're not reading that. Am I the asshole for calling my wife ridiculous for saying she won't attend my family's Christmas over some stockings? This is another Cole situation. Am I the asshole for telling my parents I won't attend their Christmas celebration until they send my husband a separate invitation? An awful lot of Christmas posts in here. I wonder why. Am I the asshole for saying I can't do any chores in December and following through? I can't do any chores in December. Why? I just want to know why. I don't even want to read the whole post. I run a small online business from home. November and December are my busiest time of the year, when I make a lot of money that allows me to work less during the year. I've been doing this since I was 25, so I've got a decent idea of what I can and cannot do, and focusing on work only for 1 to 2 months is a sacrifice I'm willing to make for chill rest of the year. I moved in with my boyfriend. Well, technically he moved in with me because he's poor. We split chores half and half. He works full time. When he moved in, I had a talk with him, letting him know I can't do any chores in November/December, and asked if he could pick up the slack because I'm physically unable to do any chores, as I can be working anything between 12 to 18 hours a day. I take a full January off to decompress. He said he doubted I worked that much, but we'll see. Oh, yeah, right. You don't work that much. He said that he thought I wasn't being serious and told me there's no way he'd do 100% of chores because he's working too. I said, fine, don't do my chores. They can wait till I have time. That's how it was when I lived alone. No problem. I don't make much mess anyway. He wasn't happy, but dropped it. He called me a lazy bitch. I told him Kay didn't have time for arguing and went back to working. He stood in front of my locked office door shouting how he couldn't believe I was being serious about not doing chores and it was an asshole move to leave it all to him. Wow. Okay. I mean, working 12 to 18 hours a day is maybe a little insane. I don't know what the heck you're physically doing for that much time. I mean, I spend 8 hours a day at work and I'm only working for like 2 of them maybe. And Meekin says you don't want to read the cat one because you know it will make me angry / cry. Yeah, exactly. Am I the asshole? Was the asshole for not giving our granddaughter the same wedding gift as our other grandchildren? Am I the asshole for going to get ice cream instead of going home after my flight landed? Rilip says my wife wanted to work and I very nearly died of unwashed dishes because I'm a man baby. Exactly. My wife went on a week vacation and didn't leave us any food, so we died of starvation. Am I the asshole for upstaging my wife in our Christmas cookie baking tradition? This sounds fun. My 25M wife, 23F, and I have had a tradition every Christmas where we would bake Christmas cookies and frost them with our friends. We'd then give the cookies out to friends and family and helpers. Okay. Every year, my wife would take on the bulk of the baking duties, insisting that only she knew how to bake them right, and only letting whoever is helping frost them. She always insisted on doing all the baking because frosting is the fun part and the only thing people want to do. Usually this frosting and baking marathon would last until the wee hours of the morning and to start around noon. Damn. That sounds miserable. This year, for reasons that aren't relevant to this post, and to sound relevant, she would not be available on the day we normally do all of this. She said that she wouldn't be able to do our cookie tradition. I said that I was more than capable of baking the cookies. She seemed to think I was joking and that I could basically never do it myself. Well, I said I'd try, and she wished me a sarcastic good luck. Well, in the run-up to the days of baking and frosting, I started running drills to optimize production. Enter testing and tragic mistake montage. Okay, it's a movie now. I started rearranging the house in various configurations, running tests on the dough we were using to see how long it took to bake, and making appropriate changes while running it by taste testers. How many people are involved in this? What the heck? Substituting ingredients, etc., etc. Come the day of baking, I have everything down to a science. As friends and family come in, I give them the rundown. After a couple hours, most kinks are worked out. We worked out all our kinks. Very kinky. And cookies are flowing out at a breakneck pace. Eventually, we start running out of material. Something that never happened under my wife's aegis. Alright, okay, smart guy. We start making runs to the store for the necessary raw materials to fuel our mighty cookie forges. Alright. Whatever. Sure, am I the asshole? I don't know if you're the asshole, but it sounds like you took something she enjoys and was sad about missing and did it without her. I would be sad if someone did that to me personally. Okay. What a weird thing to do. My wife is mad because I'm not a man baby. Am I the asshole? I used science to optimize my cookie baking process. Alright, chat. I think that's enough for tonight. I'm not seeing anything like particularly spicy. So I think we're gonna call it for the night. Thanks everybody for coming out for Am I the Asshole December recap. Capping off a wonderful year of, I don't know, when did I start doing Am I the Asshole? Was it like halfway through the year, I think? July or June? We'll keep it rolling for the rest of this year. We'll see if we can maybe spice it up a little bit. Maybe add in some other subreddits, like I was saying earlier. But I want to thank, oh, Sartari wants a bean. Okay, hey, Sartari, saving it for last. I like it. Coming in at the last second to save the night. Let's shake them up. Open it up. No trick photography here. Oops. Hold on. It went over here. It's still good. Just it's a little barfy. So this is a. I don't actually know what this one is. I think it might be barf. So it might be barf, chat. Hold on. We gotta pre-rinse for this. Okay. Here we go. Oh, that's really good. What is that? It's like bubble gum. That's actually really good. I don't think that's even on here. No. I wasn't punished, so. Delicious. I think a bunch of good beans must have got in there. Okay. Well, now we're ending for real. Thank you everybody again for coming out. You guys, I know this is like a really weird thing as far as like Twitch goes. I begin to think he actually has eaten all the nasty ones and only the good ones are left. It's entirely possible. I don't know the numbers. I just know I've gotten a suspicious amount of delicious beans recently. Perhaps it's karma. So I'm gonna send you guys off to Beetle Rock's playing Stationeers. Let's go. We're going. Guys, get in there. Let's all say hi to Beetle Rock. And I did get a rotten egg earlier. All right, see you guys on Wednesday. Here we go.